Yes, what we're aiming for with the core Samyama practice is cultivating the general ability to flow smoothly in life and to have fulfillment of intentions. What we're not trying to do with the core Samyama practice is create a specific ability, and we sort of leave that to the practitioner. As far as being able to do that is concerned, different people have different gifts. You know, some people have a natural ability to heal, and some people have a natural ability to, you know, foresee things that haven't happened yet, and so forth and so on. And doing the core Samyama routine in AYP will strengthen those natural abilities, just as you say, because whatever our natural abilities are, those will be strengthened because we'll be able to let go with our intentions, and those will be strengthened. And we'll also be strengthened across the board in other areas where perhaps we really need the strengthening. You know,
yes.
If somebody can lay on hands and heal, but they can't get along with their spouse in their marriage, well,
yes.
where is the attention needed?
Mm-hmm.
And doing this broad form of Samyama practice will bring the harmony where it is needed. It'll also improve the natural abilities we have already too, but I don't know that that's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I should also mention that we have additional applications of Samyama. One of the important ones is called, it's a different practice, it's called Cosmic Samyama.
Yes.
And it's very similar to the yoga and nidra practices that you see out there, where attention is being brought to different points in the body and then outside the body out into the cosmos, if you will. And this is an additional practice that's can be done at the end of our regular sitting practice routine, and it can also be done at bedtime. And this expands our awareness in the physical sense, in the cosmic sense, out into dimensions far beyond our body, and also inward far beyond our, the surface of our body. So it's cosmic in the sense that it goes cosmically outward and cosmically inward. And this adds a sense of further expansion of inner silence, further movement of inner silence, deliberately to encompass all that is. So in time we begin to see everything that's around us and in us as being us. It's a practice that cultivates unity.
Mm-hmm. Now, how does... Yes.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead, finish your thought.
I was just going to say I wanted to be sure to mention that because it's a practice that quite a few people have found very effective for expanding their experience. You know, it's great to have inner silence. It's terrific. You know, people can set off a bomb next to you and you'll be hardly fazed. But there's more. You know, we need to take that silence out into our daily life, and we need to deal with the energetic side of our neurobiology in order to assist that. And that's the Kundalini we were talking about in the last interview. Mm-hmm. And with Cosmic Samyama, we're taking it far beyond even all of that to the farthest limits of the cosmos. So we are cosmic beings, and in our essence, we are everything. And so Cosmic Samyama is designed to promote that, and it works quite well.
How does Samyama compare with prayer?
Oh, I'm glad you asked me that. Samyama, the principle of Samyama, that is picking up an intention and releasing it,
yes,
in stillness, that principle of picking up and releasing is the essence of all effective prayer. And you think about it, when we pray, we're repeating a certain formula, or perhaps we have a specific thing that we're praying for, and we do it within the context of whatever religious tradition we come from. But the effectiveness of that prayer is really in the ability of putting the attention out there and then letting it go. And this is discussed in the Samyama book as well, is incorporating the principle of Samyama in prayer. And so I'm really glad you asked me that. Those who pray, this is not an alternative to prayer. Samyama is a means for increasing our ability in all aspects of life, including in prayer.
Mm-hmm.
So this is sort of moving away from the formula approach of sutras and fixed routines for cultivating a general ability and activity. This is really, when we talk about prayer, we're really talking more about the application of the principle of Samyama in everyday living, which there are a number of areas that we can discuss for that, and prayer is one of them.
Well, I know that you have an exercise where you're creating a very powerful prayer, surrendering the prayer into the stillness with this practice of Samyama. Somebody close to you was ill, say, for instance, and you wanted to pray for them. You can use your prayer with the Samyama as a more powerful practice to help send the healing energy maybe that they need.
Yes, and it's very practical. For anyone who prays for another, a sick relative or a friend or a loved one, let's put it this way: the more we say in a prayer, the less likely it's going to be effective, because the effectiveness of prayer comes with releasing our intention or our request in stillness. So rather than having a long-winded prayer about, our sister or brother or parent being well, if we just pick up their name very gently as an intention and release it, let it go for 15 seconds or half a minute or however long is comfortable, and then pick it up again. And even long prayers like the Lord's Prayer, which is a fairly long prayer, you can break that up in pieces. Our Father, just wait. Just release. Who art in heaven, release. You can if you break up a prayer into sutras, into small stitches or small formulas like that, and release them, they're going to be much more effective, because the effectiveness of all prayer comes from beyond, and we all know that,
Yes.
Our prayers are not answered on the physical level. Well, they're answered on the physical level, but the source of that comes from beyond, and that beyond is the stillness that is within us. As it says in the Psalms, in the Bible, be still and know that I am God. And that is the essence of this whole thing that we're talking about here, is releasing into that stillness.
Yeah, you've spoken about groups before, and you just mentioned it again about helping to solve global problems. How do groups help to create a more powerful prayer?
Well, it has to do with the synergy between practitioners and the interaction of stillness moving out from multiple nodes, if you will, in the vast network of awareness of the planet. When people are engaged in these practices, there's a multiplying effect when they're doing them at the same time, or even in the same day. So if you consider everybody meditating at 9 o'clock in the morning and following that around the planet, it's a 24-hour cycle that never ends, right?
Yeah.
Because it's 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So that's also a togetherness of practice. But also it can be time coordinated so that everybody is actually doing a practice at the same time. And,
yes.
and as I mentioned, we do that every weekend in AYT. And so there's that sort of cumulative effect. And, going back to the Bible again, Jesus said, when several are gathered in my name, I am there too. So it is that principle of group energy, group spiritual energy is very powerful. And anybody that's been to a spiritual gathering has felt this, that there is this energy that comes up with a group that is there for spiritual reasons.
Yes, so our listeners, if they want to get involved in your group meditations or the Samyama practice, they should check out your website, www.aypsite.org.